Yo, what's going on, ladies and gents? My name is Arbuckle. Welcome back to another video. Today we are once again back on Modern Warfare, and I wanted to share with you guys the best class setup for the new P90 The Dark blueprint. This blueprint is available in the new Gun Nut bundle in the Modern Warfare store, and it is pretty interesting. I'll be honest with you guys, if you take a look at the stats that you're going to get with this weapon, we boost our accuracy, our range, our damage, and our control a pretty significant amount. However, our mobility is dropped so much, and I think that's just not worth it whatsoever. The P90 for this class setup is obviously really powerful, but if you're not really able to move whatsoever, then it's not really useful because it's a submachine gun. It's meant to be used to run around with, so it doesn't really make a lot of sense that they would drop the mobility this much. So for this weapon, I changed some of the attachments so that we didn't lose much mobility, and we still have a very powerful weapon. So if you guys take a look at the class setup that I have created, you will see that our accuracy and our range are buffed significantly. Our control is buffed significantly, just like the last class, the original blueprint. However, our mobility is almost exactly the same. We lose literally a very tiny amount, not enough to be a big deal whatsoever. So I think this class setup is going to be much better, and should have been the blueprint to start out with. So if you take a look at the attachments, we're not going to be using a muzzle. The barrel we're going to be using is the Forged Tack Retribution, which is in the original blueprint. With this, you're going to get damage range, bullet velocity, and recoil control. A very good attachment to boost your accuracy, range, and control. This is, however, an attachment that is going to hurt your mobility, so that is why we're going to be making up for the mobility with some other attachments that we're going to be using here in a second. The laser we're going to be using is the tack laser. Now, the class did not come with the tack laser setup, but I think the tack laser is a great thing to use. You're getting aim down sight speed, aiming stability, and aim walking steadiness. Obviously, the focus with this attachment is accuracy, mobility, and control. We literally don't get hurt with anything with this attachment, which makes it very useful. The optic we're going to be running is the GI Mini Reflex. Now, the original optic was the canted hybrid, and I don't think a lot of people like using hybrids or even massive scopes like that on an SMG, so it makes it much more difficult to use. So obviously using a smaller reflex is going to be easier. I'm a huge fan of the mini reflexes. The GI Mini Reflex with this weapon is phenomenal. You're going to buff, whatever. You're going to buff your accuracy with this. You do lose a little bit of aim down sight speed, as you do with all reflexes that you run, but it is worth it, and you will be able to have decent accuracy with this thing. The stock that we're going to be using is the fly strap. Now, originally with this blueprint, you use the FSS Heavy Stock Pro. However, that is what kills our mobility significantly, and we don't want our mobility to drop too much. So if you go through some of the other attachments, we have the fly strap, which is going to drop our accuracy and our control a little bit, but it keeps our mobility at about the neutral zone. We don't lose any more of the mobility. We also get sprint to fire speed and aim walking movement speed, which is a really great thing to have with submachine guns. Last but not least, we're going to be using stippled grip tape as an underbarrel. Now, generally I run this as a rear grip because you get aim down sight speed and sprint to fire speed, which is always great to have. Fortunately, we have that with the fly strap stock attachment. So with this one, we're going to get recoil control and aiming stability, one last boost to our accuracy, range, and control without sacrificing any mobility. A really good attachment to run. And yeah, so those are the attachments for the P90 The Dark blueprint. This makes this weapon so much better, and you don't have to sacrifice any mobility whatsoever. So I really hope you guys did enjoy this video. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see all you guys in the next video.
Can we be friends?